Hudson working the AT&T phone. This is his father, John Hudson, Security Consulting Solutions, Inc., former Secret Service agent, Marine, Quigley grad, and a guy who really understands security. President, joint address to Congress, big issue, immigration, the wall, security. People think cameras, they think of this guy. And also sitting with First Lady Melania Trump tonight, several relatives of people killed by undocumented immigrants, migrants. So talk to me about this mess, and can we actually get a handle on it with more cameras?
Well, first I'd like to say I've served for 3 presidents, sitting presidents at the time, and 2 former presidents, Reagan and Ford. And I've seen a lot during that period of time. Things that some people probably just dream of. But when I see this president come into office and rattle the cage of the swamp, and he's becoming a shaker and a mover, and it's not the traditional politics that you see nowadays. It's kind of a breath of fresh air, to be honest with you, after being there for 15 years in the city and seeing the politics, seeing the bureaucracy. And now we've got, a new outlook in life, I guess, with respect to how politics is run today. So I'm interested in hearing what he has to say today, or this evening in the 9 o'clock speech. And I'm encouraged by the changes that that are soon to come, if they do come to fruition. If we can get a bipartisan Congress to help make this happen, because he can't make it happen by himself. He needs the support of the Democrats. And the big thing is, if we can just get everyone to come together, we all want the same thing. We want to abide by the law. I don't think he's being too radical with the changes that he's looking for. He's just looking to enforce the law. Really, that's how I'm seeing it right now. I know there's a couple other snafus that have come across, and our justices out in California have straightened that out to some degree. It's going back, swipe at it again, make another cut, have Sessions, who's in office now, who wasn't there before, can play a more active part too. So I think it's going to get done this time. There's a lot of new changes. It's a breath of fresh air.
How far, just since your time in government, have we come with technology and security cameras? This is amazing stuff, right?
Well, I think a prime example of it is what you're doing right now. You're being recorded on a phone that we weren't using back in the early 90s or the 80s. My first phone was a block phone. Back in the Marine Corps days, back in the 80s, we're using these field handsets that are the size of a lunchbox, and we're attaching wire from one end to the other end, maybe several blocks away. So to go from the old flip style phones to a phone that we're using today to videotape ourselves, and you go live on Facebook, you go live on Twitter, whatever the case might be. It's amazing that the drone technology. We talked about the defense budget going up $54 billion. There's a program in there with the drone program where we have people in Washington, D.C., outside of Washington, D.C., flying drones over in the Middle East, operating 24/7 a day. This wasn't going on back in the early 90s. You've seen it firsthand with some of the drone adventures that we've done locally in Beaver County, Allegheny County, Butler County, where we're using that type of technology. We're flying a drone up 300 feet. You're able to go out 3 miles and control this from your smart device, whether it's an iPad or iPhone. So the technology and the evolution of technology has really gone into the 22nd century, and it's phenomenal. I'm a tech guy, and I love it.
You talk about security through knowledge, and you've been in the business of security for 30 years with your company since about 2004. And also being that you're a former Marine, talk about the significance, and we talked to Dave about manufacturing steel in the coal industry, and how when you increase spending as far as defense, it really helps all of that. But what's it do for the military?
One of the projects I just talked about with the drone, the technology with drones, the new fighter pilots, or the fighter planes that are being developed right now. It allows that process to move forward without sitting like it's in a cesspool and nothing's happening, with the exception of parts getting rusted. So to be able to actually mobilize that technology, and I think one of the more important factors of it is, if you look outside of technology, allowing the troops to practice. Lou Holtz once said, we play the way we practice. The same thing in the military. If you don't get out there and train, how do you know what to do when you get into the
thick of things.
battlefield? Theater of war. That's correct. So my big thing when I was in the Marine Corps was, and I was out in 29 Palms, California for a while, largest Marine Corps ground training center in the country, and allowing us to go out there and train for when you get that phone call and you're going to get deployed and jump on a C-5 and head overseas in the middle of the night and go to wherever you're going to go. That stuff becomes second nature. You're not scrambling around looking for supplies. The supplies are stocked on the shelves. Right now, I think they would be hard pressed to say that they could mobilize like they could mobilize us back in the late 80s, early 90s.
In all, President Donald Trump, long term, what do you see him really focusing on that you believe as an American citizen, a veteran, a member of the government at the highest level, protecting the commander-in-chief, that is a necessary part of what he must accomplish to make America great?
Job creation. Jobs creation. That we haven't had a significant job increase in decades, and that's his strength. He'll play to his strength. The wall, that will come. I believe that will come, but that also brings us jobs. You need the steel, you need the labor, you need the excavating equipment. You need a lot of things that we're not thinking about up front. We're just thinking all of a sudden this wall magically appears. Well, behind that wall, behind that $8 to $12 billion to $20 billion wall, you'll see jobs. Just like through the pipeline, you'll see jobs. Through the increase or the decrease in Ford Carrier leaving the countries, you'll see those jobs staying in the country. So I believe he'll play to his strengths, which is business, economic, and he'll increase the economy.
Well, hopefully they get all that hard work done, but we'll leave the coffee on for you. Brightening your day, the Brighton Hot Dog Shop. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good night.